Your brain is currently being rented by Netflix and dopamine. Think about that for a second. Every notification, every scroll, every autoplay video is a tenant paying rent in the form of your attention. You didn't sign a lease, but you're letting strangers live there rent-free, shaping your thoughts, dictating your mood, and deciding what deserves your focus. The worst part? Most people don't even realize they've given away the deed to their own mind. Mortimer Adler and the Stoics would be horrified. Both understood something we have largely forgotten. The highest form of freedom is not political or financial. It is mental ownership. True self-mastery begins when you stop being a passive consumer of ideas and start actively directing your own thinking. Adler's famous essay, How to Mark a Book, is not just a guide to reading. It is a manifesto for intellectual independence. The Stoics took this idea further by teaching that the mind is the one domain you can completely control. Together, they offer a powerful path back to owning your own mind in an age designed to rent it out. The rental economy of the mind. We live in the greatest attention economy ever built. Apps, platforms, and algorithms compete fiercely for every second of your focus. They know exactly how to trigger dopamine, how to exploit fear of missing out, and how to keep you scrolling just a little longer. The result is a quiet tragedy, millions of intelligent people who have outsourced their thinking. They consume summaries instead of wrestling with ideas. They let influencers set their priorities. They react to the news cycle instead of developing independent judgment. Their minds are full of other people's content, but empty of their own synthesis. Adler saw the early signs of this problem in the rise of mass media. He argued that passive reading, letting your eyes pass over words without engagement, is barely better than not reading at all. The Stoics went even further. Epictetus taught that while we cannot control external events, we can always control our judgments about them. Seneca warned that a mind without discipline becomes the slave of whatever happens to capture it. Your brain is not a neutral sponge. It is the most powerful tool you will ever own. Yet most people treat it like a cheap motel. Anyone can check in, stay as long as they want, and leave it messier than they found it. Adler's radical idea, fight the book. In How to Mark a Book, Adler made a simple but revolutionary suggestion. Treat books as opponents worthy of combat. Don't just read them, fight them. He recommended marking books aggressively. Underline key passages, write questions and objections in the margins, summarize chapters in your own words, mark important pages with numbers or symbols, create your own index at the back. This is not vandalism, it is active engagement. When you mark a book, you are no longer a passive recipient of the author's ideas. You become a participant in the conversation. You force yourself to think critically, to agree or disagree, to connect the ideas to your own life. Adler believed that a book that has not been marked has not been properly read. The physical act of marking forces your mind to stay present. It transforms reading from entertainment into education. This is mental ownership in action. You are no longer letting the author rent space in your head. You are claiming the territory for yourself. The Stoic art of mental self-mastery. The Stoics took this idea of ownership and applied it to every aspect of life. They taught that while you cannot control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the foundation of Stoic self-mastery. Your mind is the one fortress that cannot be taken unless you surrender it. Seneca advised daily reflection and mental preparation. Marcus Aurelius used his private writings to remind himself of Stoic principles when the pressures of ruling an empire threatened to overwhelm him. Together, Adler and the Stoics offer a complete system for owning your mind. Adler teaches you how to actively engage with great ideas. The Stoics teach you how to maintain control over your judgments and reactions. When you combine active reading with Stoic mental discipline, you stop being a tenant in your own head. You become the landlord. How to start owning your mind. Today, you don't need to become a philosopher overnight. Start with small, consistent practices. Mark your books, like Adler. Next time you read, grab a pen. Underline, question, argue. Turn passive reading into active dialogue. Practice Stoic reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself, where did I let external events control my emotions? What was within my control today that I neglected? How can I respond better tomorrow? Protect your attention. Set clear boundaries with technology. Create distraction-free zones and times. Treat your focus as sacred. Develop syntopical thinking. Don't just read one book on a topic. Read several and create your own synthesis. This is how you move from consuming ideas to owning them. Build mental resilience. Use negative visualization daily. Mentally rehearse challenges so you're not caught off guard. This strengthens your mind's ability to remain calm and rational. These practices may feel simple, even boring. That's exactly why they work. Real mental ownership doesn't come from flashy techniques. It comes from consistent, quiet discipline. The freedom of owning your mind. When you truly own your mind, something remarkable happens. External events lose their power over you. You stop reacting and start responding. You become harder to manipulate, less easily distracted, and far more capable of living according to your own values. This is the freedom the Stoics prized above all else. It is also the freedom Adler fought for through his life's work on education and great books. In a world designed to rent out your attention, choosing to own your mind is a radical act. It is also one of the most powerful forms of self-improvement available to you. Your brain is not a rental property. It is your most valuable possession. Treat it that way. Stop letting Netflix, dopamine, and endless distractions be your tenants. Evict them. Claim your mental territory. Mark your books. Guard your attention. Think for yourself. The path to true freedom begins in your own mind. If this episode helped you see how much of your mind you've been renting out to distractions, do me a favor. Like this video if you're ready to start owning your mind. Comment below with one way you're going to reclaim your attention this week. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive into timeless ideas. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your mind is your greatest asset. Let's stop renting it out and start owning it completely. See you in the next level.